You got MARKLED. CNN axed Gayle King's show for a link with Meghan, defeated by South Park episodes. The CNN weekly primetime talk show co-hosted by basketball loudmouth Charles Barkley and CBS morning star Gayle King has ended a 6-month run that failed to produce ratings. The weekly call-in show, KingCharles, which aired at 10 PM Eastern Time on Wednesday night, failed to generate more viewers than reruns of the sitcom Friends and episodes of South Park. It was the lowest rating primetime weeknight series debut for CNN in at least a decade, according to Nielsen. When the show launched in November, CNN said it planned to air it through the early spring. Since debuting in November, King Charles's viewership fell 20%. The first airing was watched by 500,000 total viewers and 139,000 in the advertiser-coveted 25 to 54 age demographic, according to Nielsen. The show's January the 31st episode failed to crack the 100,000 viewer threshold in the 25 to 54 demo. The first time it couldn't reach the 6-figure mark, Nielsen numbers show. King Charles was the brainchild of Chris Licht, the former CNN boss who was unceremoniously fired last year after an unflattering magazine profile portrayed him as a thin-skinned manager who alienated staffers and was jealous of their longing for his predecessor Jeff Zucker. This show, Gayle King's friend of Oprah, Meghan Markle, mocked King Charles III when they intentionally combined the names of the two hosts to name the show. I saw small pieces of the King Charles show. It was clunky and had no focus. I wasn't sure what they were trying to do. It felt like Gayle and Charles had better things to do, but they were fitting this in as a favour to Meghan Markle. Gayle is Markle original. She only got a name because of Oprah. She can only carry a show if she's with somebody else. This show's doomed from the beginning because it's an odd team, and she's already touched by Markle. Remember Gayle King asking on live TV if Prince Philip died of natural causes, hoping to cause extra drama and conspiracy? Well, when he was on his deathbed, your friend Markle slandered his entire family. Maybe that stress hastened his death. I do remember after the Oprah interview how she made such a big deal of telling everyone that Meghan had receipts. Where are those receipts, by the way? On Thursday's episode of CBS's This Morning, Gayle King defended Meghan's allegations while speaking specifically about the claims related to discrimination. I think Meghan had plenty of receipts, meaning that she's been keeping track of things, she said. Gayle was in the audience at some award that Meghan bought herself a year or so ago, and male journo Jan Moi was sitting next to her and asked if she really thought the royal family were discriminatory. Gayle said no, she didn't, and neither did Harry and Meghan. Also, when there was the famous cue to pay respects to the Queen lying in state, Gayle's reporter was interviewing people waiting. Some waited for several days out in the cold, and the reporter interviewed a number of the many black and Asian British people also waiting. Gayle's face was a picture when she had to acknowledge the truth with her own eyes that the late Queen was loved by people from all communities in the UK, and the queue was a fine symbol of the UK's successful multiculturalism. Meghan's attempt to import US-style discrimination profiling to the UK was one of her most unforgivable and vile acts.